Benedict Cumberbatch, thank you so much for talking to us.
Good morning,
on
such a
Breakfast.
pleasure.
Oh, it's lovely to see you. Really enjoyed the film.
Great.
I'm a big Marvel fan
Great,
anyway.
great.
Mind-blowingly wonderful.
Quote, done. That's the poster. We'll put that right all over it.
What if I told you the reality you know is one of many?
This doesn't make any sense.
Not everything does.
Tell us about Doctor Strange, because he's not one of the most high-profile Marvel comic characters at all.
That's right. No, I mean, I didn't shamefully know about him much at all before this came up as a potential project, and he's a neurosurgeon in New York, and he's arrogant and very confident, but also charming and likable. He's fun to be around. He's got a good sense of humour, and he has a cataclysmic car crash and has a full-on sort of physical and mental breakdown because his hands are so badly damaged he can't be a surgeon anymore, and everything in Western medicine is failing him. As a last-ditch kind of attempt to get back to his old life, he goes to Kathmandu to meet this person called the Ancient One in a place called Cumberbatch, and that's where it all goes crazy.
Kathmandu, on a personal level, you went there when you were much younger.
Much younger, and spent very little time in Kathmandu itself, but what I remember of it came flooding back when we went to film there. It was such an important thing for me to hold on to that. It was an idea very early on that we would shoot in Nepal, and it's such a key element to the stories you know from seeing the film. But then the earthquake happened 7 months before, which was when the film was already in pre-production. I said, look, we've got to still make this logistically work. It's so important for us to go and show support by cooperating with them and showing the world that Nepal is working, that that is open for business.
And lots of people will think about Nepal and think it's remote, people aren't connected, yet tell me if this is true.
Yeah, I know what you're going to say.
Yeah,
it's
people
insane.
were shouting Sherlock.
I mean, from the first day, because I was kind of it's the heavy beard look when he's at his worst in personal hygiene. So yeah, there was a bit of disguise going on, but not much once the internet gets hold of one tweeted photo, which happened on the first day, and then it was kind of pandemonium. And there was one day particularly where we went to Patton Square. To get in there, we had to go through very narrowed streets, and there was one street where they just got wind. We were driving down, and it was like, it was crazy. It literally car sort of being rocked and people trying to climb in. So I climbed out and we kind of ran.
And just ran?
Yeah.
Through the streets of Nepal?
Kind of, yeah.
You wonder what I see in your future? Possibility.
I know this film is very spiritualistic in many ways, and I've had hints just reading about you that perhaps that's something you've looked into as well. What have you come away and learned from this?
Well, it reignited something that I'd already very much touched base with in my teens. I was lucky enough to teach in a Tibetan Buddhist monastery in Darjeeling. It was a mind-blowing experience for a Western white teenager after education here, and just to experience that tradition and that amazing power of the mind. And it's that more than anything that stayed with me from that, and also been exacerbated by what we did in the film, the power of the mind to sort of change your reality. And we meditated as a cast. We had a Tibetan monk every now and again, and we would work with Tup 10 to concentrate and focus and meditate, and that's helpful for anyone in any walk of life. The power of the mind, as I said, is something that we could all kind of benefit from through meditation and mindfulness in this crazy world. In a crazy world, you have a lot of power as a celebrity, as an actor, as someone who people from Kathmandu to the rest of the world are very, or feel a connection to you with. And so I want to talk to you about a couple of political issues that you've made your views very clear on. This week, the French government is clearing the so-called jungle camp in Calais. There have been lots of stories about children that need help. Your view on what the British government is doing in terms of, do you think it's enough? I'm not on the ground, nor am I a member of the British government, and where I've been criticised in the past is maybe getting too involved in the politics. What stirred me to action was, I think, the same sense of powerlessness that millions, or at least hundreds of thousands of us experienced when we first saw footage of that child washing up on a beach in Turkey, and from there on in, the plight of genuine refugees seeking salvation or some kind of peace or escape from a war-torn country. And all I can do is draw attention to that and prey on the goodwill of people such as the audience that came to see me in Hamlet. And I'm very proud of what I did. I'm not necessarily proud of some of the ways in which I did it, but I was, I think, moved, like I said, by a true tragedy and the feeling of frustration at not being able to do more. You also made a difference as part of signing a petition to
urged the government to pardon gay and bisexual men who are convicted of now abolished sexual crimes in England and Wales. That's come through in the past few days.
No, I'm absolutely over the moon about that. I'm thrilled. And there are a lot of men and women, I imagine as well, but men who had been convicted of what was then termed a crime. And I'm just thrilled that that justice has finally been done, and that they've been exonerated and recognised for being human beings who should have been allowed to live their life freely.
What's life like at home on a Saturday when you're in between films? I'm going to guess that maybe
I watch Strictly.
Saturday nights, I'll watch Strictly.
You're going to ask a much more innocent question than I thought.
And your good friend, Rob Rinder, who's in the competition and doing well. So what performance tips have you given him?
Absolutely none. He's doing all that himself, and that's what's so gobsmackingly awesome about it, is that you watch a friend doing something you had no idea he could do, and he's doing it. Not only is he doing it, but he's doing it in front of a live TV and live studio audience. I think that's just hats off to you as well for your part in it as well. I don't know how you did it, really, and I think he's just getting better and better. I'm so thrilled for him and very proud friend.
You a dancer?
No, I can shimmy a bit, but I mean, I'm not going to say that in front of you guys. You've done it properly now.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you,
Benedict Cumberbatch.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.